Hello and welcome, Dragon Brawlers, to Players Guild. My name is Loki. I'm joined by our lovely Guildmaster Scott.
Yeah. So today we are asking the question we always ask in these type of videos: is it good? And we're talking about the new Super Saiyan Super Blue. Yeah, that's what it
Super,
is. Super
yes,
Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. I'm actually quite excited for this leader. It's another flippity flop leader that doesn't awaken. Um, it's based on the Resurrection saga. But before we get into it, Lucky, what do the people need to know?
that we do have a link and a code for a discount if you need any binders, deck boxes, or additional accessories. They do have amazing magnetic cases for Volt X. So there is links in the description. If you're in UK or if you're in the US, there is links for that. And if you use the code Players Guild, you get 10% off, and you help our channel as well if you shop through those links.
Yeah.
And with that code.
So let's get into it with Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku. When his card attacks, draw one card, and then this card gains 5k power for the battle. After using this card in a battle, flip this card to its backside. At the end of you and your opponent's turns, choose up to yours and your opponent's turns. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards when it costs a 4 or less in rest mode and KO it, which is pretty decent. As like I mean, it doesn't get around barrier, but that's like, oh yo, you got a 4 or less that doesn't have barrier. You've got it in rest mode. Bye. That's like really solid on the leader.
Yeah, but it
Uh,
of course depends which leader you have at the front,
yes,
right?
yes. It doesn't work like if this is a Vegeta. Like it's got to be
Yeah.
this side to use it. Activate battle limit one. If it's your turn, choose up to one yellow Vegeta with an edge cost of 2, and that card gets plus 5k for the battle. So pretty nice, pretty nice.
Very flavorful because it is based off the fact that they were supposed to be tagging in who fights with Frieza.
Mm-hmm. And then the artwork is also just like
Yes.
redonkulously good on this leader. Like I really hope we have double-sided leaders in foil because it's gonna suck not having that Goku in foil but the Vegeta in foil.
Yeah, that's going to
Um,
definitely look weird, isn't it?
yeah. But let's speaking of the Vegeta.
Exactly. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta God level power. So Goku doesn't get any titles, but Vegeta
No, no,
does.
no. That's just the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. That's all you care about, right? And this is like,
Exactly.
ah, he's God mode now.
Yeah. So limit one after using this card in a battle. Draw one card and flip this card to its front side. That's interesting because Goku doesn't have that limit.
Hmm.
So Goku on the front, if it's attacked once, it flips to Vegeta. Vegeta is attacked. You draw a card and you flip it back. And then if Goku is attacked again, it flips back to Vegeta and stays at the Vegeta.
Hmm.
And then activate main, limit 1, flip this card to its front side. It lets you choose which one you're on.
Yeah.
I think the important one is you want to end your opponent's turn on the Goku.
Yeah, because you can easily flip
Yeah.
flop back onto Goku. Yeah.
And the question I have is if the attack is negated, does the battle still consider to be done because the attack has been declared?
Yeah, I imagine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it's the same thing with it when these cards attacks,
Yeah.
right? Like it's
That,
basically, yeah.
that that's what I think. But this says after using this card in a battle, it's weird.
It's swung, so I guess it technically counts as being used.
Yeah, because all the dual attacks, all the when attack autos, and all that stuff works, right?
Hmm. Yeah. And then activate battle limit one. If it's your turn, choose up to one of your yellow Sun Gokus at a cost of 2. That card gains 5k power for the battle. So similar effect to the Goku.
Yeah, they
Um,
just tag in and out. They support each other, which is
mhm.
not what they usually do, but let's go with it.
Yeah, you want to be on that Goku just to get that removal if you
Yeah.
need it. And like I say, like you're not too hard out. Um,
It's very difficult to get to that, to make sure that you're at that Goku, right?
mm. So yeah, like what's up next then? Cause they're probably in different order than I have them.
Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku Finishing Blow, the Z Battle card. So it's a 2-drop with 2 specified yellow and 3 Z energy for 10,000 power battle card. Z battle card. With Deflect and Dual Attack. Auto, if you add 1 yellow Vegeta with energy cost of 2 to your hand at the start of your main phase, play this card under a yellow Whis Z battle card. So I assume we're going to see Whis with Z stack. I probably just got a really random order on those cards. Uh, Where are we adding that yellow Vegeta with energy cost of 2 to our hand? I assume it's from battle area.
Yeah, right. It's an awkward one.
Because they started doing that last set. We had a situation last set or 2 sets ago. We had a situation that I read an effect, and it's like, where do you add that card from?
Mm.
But I think at the moment it's if unspecified, it's battle area. Second auto: if your opponent has 5 or more cards in rest mode, when this card is played, this card gains critical and barrier for the turn.
Just decent.
This is decent because your leader is also encouraging your opponent to attack, because you want to flip it away from that Goku, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that there is no removal there.
Yeah.
And then the last so then you have a 10k attacker with your leader on Vegeta being able to give it 5k, so it's 15k critical barrier with dual attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then last auto: when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and this card gets 5k for the turn. Damn.
Yep.
None of those are once per turn or limit.
Nope. So it's quite decent. You end up being a 25 double strike crit by the end of it.
Yes, the second attack is 25k double. No, because the leader
It's
is
only for the battle, but that's when you would use it, right? Unless
yeah,
you
you
wanted
would
to
use
just
it on the second
do
attack,
it,
unless you want to have 2 attacks for 20k.
Yeah, no, true. That's a very valid point.
Both are scary. That depends if your opponent is awakened. Because if they're awakened, yeah, you want a swing for 15 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not awakened, then you want 2 swings for 20. It's, you know, a situation you're in, right?
Yeah. Next up.
Next one is Whis, apparently.
Time regression.
Yes.
So free cost, free specified yellow, 1Z energy, deflect unique, Z stack 1, yellow Sun Goku with an energy cost of 2. Hey, we just saw a yellow Sun Goku with an energy cost of 2. Permanent. Your yellow Sun Goku and Vegeta cards with an energy cost of 2 get plus 5k power. Fair. That's like that actually works with the old Wii stuff as well, which is quite nice.
Which means that a Goku we've just seen is actually 2 swings at 25k.
True.
Not 2 swings at 20. Okay, this is scary now.
And then it has the amazing effect of, if your leader is a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta God level power, when this card is played, skip all phases until the charge phase in your next turn, then start your main phase. So you don't get to ramp.
You don't get to ramp because you don't get to charge. You don't get to switch your
Basically,
energy to
what
active.
this does is reset all your limits and stuff. That's what it's.
Yes.
That's what it's for.
Yes. You don't get to draw. You don't get anything. You just reset the limits, which I think is already strong.
We also have an interesting little interaction. So it's like it technically skips end phase. So if you overwhelm in this turn,
yeah,
that overwhelm is going to stay on board.
Yeah.
Which that's interesting. Like that's an interesting quirk, and that big props to Damien from the Lookout. That's not me realizing that was him just messing around in the chat, and we're like, yeah, that works because it says.
Also,
skip.
does it? So what happens to the power that's for the turn?
Who knows? Who knows?
I think the clarification is going to be that effects that happen at the end of a turn will still happen. That's my gut feeling, because otherwise, Overwhelm. The problem with Overwhelm is they're cheap cards, and you get them out, then you get this one out, and then you keep a really scary body on board that was supposed to be just for one turn.
True.
Imagine Creator absorbed with this.
I was gonna say, right, there are cases like that where you probably have to look into it and say, okay, well, no, Overrealm already says at the end of 10, but then the end of 10 doesn't happen though. That's what I'm like, because it skip all phases, you know, like.
Yeah, but the turn still. So what happens is you skip your main phase, your end phase. It switches to your opponent, and you skip all of their phases, and then it switches back to you. And it also, because resets the limits, right, and all that stuff. Even if it didn't skip to your opponent, it goes from you to you. It's still that moment that the turn ends and the next turn began. The scariest bit about this card is going to be time procedures, because this is a ruling I remember from Judge of Gods. If you start your turn on turn 0 in time, and you play Whis, you skipped one turn, and it's your turn again, so you're on turn 0 and turn 1. So then your
Ooh, that's
opponent
good.
gets only one turn to play the game.
Oh, that's a good point.
In a time, yeah, and I know sadly for a fact that that's the ruling because you have a total of 3 additional turns. It doesn't say which player needs to take those turns.
Yeah, interesting. Very like interesting rulings to come out of that then. But
Yeah,
what's up next? But I again, I love this card. I think it's great.
I
Um,
think it's so on flavor with Whis, with the original Whis we've seen,
mm,
and it's fitting in with this yellow stuff we have seen. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I want to see someone break this by being able to remove it from board, because at the moment that's the biggest problem. You can't
mm.
remove this card from board, and no one in their right mind is going to remove it from board, because that gives you opportunity to play another one.
Yeah, yeah, right. Because of the unique tag, right? It's like
Exactly.
do it, get rid of it. I'm gonna do it again, and then you don't want it to
Exactly.
happen again because, well, as you'll say, as we said, it resets all the limits. So all of the battle tricks you can do, which this deck has many, get reset.
You don't get to restand anything, but it's just, it's scary.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Also, it's still going to go into the time procedures problem, right? Because then you're just going to play a few of those.
Well, this is why most of them have dual attacks. So you swing once,
Yeah,
bring
and you
out
lift them
Whis,
up.
and it
Yeah,
resets. Yeah, yeah.
that's scary. Next one is a full drop Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku, Unceasing Progress. Unceasing?
Unceasing. That's a weird word.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got activate main limit 1. If your leader is a yellow Vegeta, so just a yellow Vegeta, right? So this could potentially work with Trunks Cheetah. You have a
Yeah.
waste time regression in play, and you place 2 of your energy in rest mode into your drop, which I think is very interesting, right? I think that's a very
That is
interesting,
steep cost.
very high cost to play this card from your hand, and this card gains dual attack for the turn. So it's coming in as a 20. Like basically, this is like your end game, pushing all of your limits. Um, it's like an overrealm, but you're gonna lose energy for it. So like, this is a situation where you're like obviously with time regression as well, your things will stay in rest mode. So I think it is more of that like if you're chipping away and you get in a position where you can go for the game, and because your opponent's not going to have been able to restood from it, then this is where you put on that pressure and be like, oh, my energy's useless this turn, so sack it off and just keep going. Like
Yeah.
that's where I see it. And I
So
think there's merit in that.
yes, there is that. I think this card is really scary because yes, it requires the energy in rest mode, but it's also their way of saying, oh, you should not be removing that Whis at all. So technically, you only get to play it once because let's be honest, your opponent's not going to remove that.
Mm.
And then you play this with dual attack, as you mentioned. You attack with it once, it restands, and essentially you get additional swing of it in the next turn, and you still have a Goku on board, right? But this is just a 20k attack. It doesn't have anything else.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Yes. And then we go to the super rare, I think.
Which is
The Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta rivalry, the 2-drop. So the
oh yeah, this card's like ridiculously good. So it's a 15k 05 combo with the auto limit 1. If your leader is yellow, any yellow leader, and you add one card from your life to your hand, so Self Awaken. When this card is played, choose one. This card gets 5k and double strike for the turn.
okay.
Or this card gets 5k and dual attack for the turn. At the start of you and your opponent's main phase, switches to active mode. Activate main, pay 1, choose one of your Yellow Sun Goku or Vegeta cards, play this card from your hand, and then and the chosen card will not switch to active mode during your next charge phase. You know what? That's fine if you're playing with servant decks. Oh, what's just released a really good servant deck? The Margin Vegeta deck.
So this is a 2-drop Goku and Vegeta, which we've seen that there's already an interactions with. Because it gets 5k from Whis. A leader can give it additional 5k. From its own effect, it gets 5k. It restands at the beginning of your and your opponent's main phase, which means you can swing with it. It's safe during your opponent's turn from attacks. But most importantly, it works with Whis. You can bounce it to hand. Because we've seen that Goku that bounces a 2-drop Vegeta back to your hand to do something. And this is a 2-drop Vegeta, technically. You can evolve it if you want to go that way.
There's so many uses, like so many uses
Yes,
for this.
there is tons.
Like it's fusion bait, it's Patara bait, it's
And I have a ruling question again. So, if your charge phase is skipped, I don't think it's considered you going into that charge phase, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think it is. That's my gut instinct, right? You skipped that charge phase, you didn't go into the charge phase, which means that this is still going to stop something of yours from Manta. This is a very glass cannon deck. It feels very much like
this restands anyway, regardless of week.
Yeah, this one is, but I'm talking about the activate main that stops something from restanding.
Oh, right, yeah. I see what you're saying, yeah.
This reminds me, the whole deck, as far as we've seen, a lot about the father-son Gohan.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. I think that's a comparison that you could make.
Because they're
like
both play on...
There's lots of going on, and there's going to be a lot of things, and then it's like Whis.
And then you play out, like, turn 3, 4 is pretty much where you go for the kill. That's the feeling I have, at least. I'm not saying it's bad. It seems very, very interesting.
No, I can see where you're coming from. What's up next, then?
Super Saiyan Son Goku waiting to see. So 2-drop, 2 specified yellow, 0-5k combo, 15,000 power, dual attack. As you mentioned, a lot of them have dual attack because of that Whis. When this card is played from your hand, you draw 1 card. And then limit 1, activate main, pay 1 yellow. If your leader's backside is Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, God level power, so you don't need to be on the Vegeta, that just needs to be your backside.
This one is just checking that its backside is that, yeah.
And you choose one of your yellow Vegeta cards, play this card from your hand, and the chosen card will not switch to active mode during your next charge phase. I quite like this, and I'll tell you why. Because there's multiple things you can do with this, right? You can do this on the super rare we've just seen, which will switch to active mode in main step either way.
Yeah, like, so it's like, okay, it's not going to be standing my charge phase. Gonna do it by its auto in the main phase.
Exactly. You can choose the card that you already frozen.
Yeah, there's nothing saying that you can't choose a card that won't restand anyway.
Exactly. So you can drop multiple of them on the card that's already frozen. And then if you skip your turn to your next turn with Whis, which is, we're assuming that's still going to freeze the card, you can do it again on the same frozen card.
Yeah, true.
I think this is really cool. It lets you draw cards. It gives you multiple attacks. With that Whis on board, this is a 20k dual attack.
Yeah, like, it's... I really want to see this deck played, like, I actually do want to play around with this because I think there is a lot of fun there. I did enjoy this skillless Whis deck as well. So I feel like this is like a nice take and evolution of it. That has a little bit more to it than just being skillless swings.
Yeah, at least they have skills now.
Yeah, the fact that they draw themselves like a card, it really helps a lot, I think. Then I think we've got Vegeta Trial Run, I'm hoping.
Vegeta Unceasing Progress.
Oh, the blue one. The Super Saiyan Blue.
Yes.
Vegeta Unceasing Progress. It's a 4-cost, 3 specified yellow, 0-5, 20k. Activate main, limit 1. If your leader is Yellow Goku and you have a Whis time regression in play, and you place 2 of your energy in rest mode into your drop, you play it with double strike.
So this one is a bit different, right? Because it has double strike, not dual attack. It's definitely more of a finisher. The dual attack seems way scarier because of Whis. But in both cases of Vegeta and Goku 4-drops, they don't work with a lot of stuff, because a lot of stuff requires Vegeta and Goku being 2-drops. And they only get it for the turn, so that Goku having dual attack actually doesn't change much. But I'm wondering if we're going to see a 2-drop Vegeta with double strike now.
I think there's one with critical.
Okay.
But like you basically like from what I can gather, it's you whittle them down, and then if you need that further more whittling down, you use the Goku, and then you come in with the Vegeta for the game.
Yeah, because let's be honest, you're going for the game in turn 4 when you have 4 energy. You play out your stuff, you're tapped out, and then you go into those guys.
Yeah, because realistically, right, you go, but okay, got rid of all my energy, and they're like, okay, I survived that. Play an overrun with double strike. So on top of that, you've got even more progression. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
once your opponent thinks, oh well, they've gassed out, okay, they've got their little flippity flop engine going, and can get a few more hits in. But as soon as they're in that double strike range, ooh,
Yeah, anything is just scary, isn't it?
it's like yeah, okay, it's an all. It comes back to that KO Ken deck that I really liked way back when, where it's like
Mm.
you can give your all to it, and it's basically okay, I kill you or I don't. And like part of me loves that about Dragon Ball is decks where you can do that, where it's like, okay, well I either kill you this turn or I lose, but you know what I mean? It's a conscious effort to do that. Like, I like decks that let you do that. It's like, okay, I'll take all my life and I'll win this turn or I lose. And this is a similar thing. It's like I'll destroy all my energy, and I'll try and kill you, and if not, I'm probably going to lose on the crackback.
Especially, this is a very interesting deck because this deck doesn't depend on having low life. It doesn't interact with your life at all beside the super rare we've just seen.
Mm.
Which means the super combos of choice in here can be the sparking super combos, which this Goku and Vegeta and Ceasing Progress lets you create easier. Because they put 2 additional cards in your drop, so sparking is life. Or, which might be more scary, is the multicolor super combos.
Yeah.
Because yellow leader, right? And there's some good yellow stuff that you could be running.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So next up,
Vegeta Trial Run. The 2-drop critical, yes. So this is going to be the equivalent of the Goku we've seen with dual attack. So this one is a 2-drop 15k critical. When played, draw a card. And it has activate main limit 1 when you pay 1 yellow. If your leader backside is Vegeta, god level power. And you choose one of your yellow Son Goku cards, play this card from your hand, and the chosen card will not switch to active mode during your next charge phase. Which again can be done on the super rare. And the critical attacker in here, being able to go in, which we talked about, the Z battle card, for 25k double strike, 25k critical. It's such a shame we don't have Champao Kai anymore. Not.
No, it's a good thing we don't have those anymore.
Yeah, I agree. This would just be. It's also. I was thinking about this a bit earlier. It's a good thing that Senzu has been changed as well. Because can you imagine this deck just charging one multicolor, and then Senzuing during their turn and extending?
Yeah,
this would have been pretty much a Storm deck at some point.
Pretty much, yeah. But I think like nothing is like screaming overpowered. I just think it's going to be a lot of hits to deal with. But if you deal with it, then you're in a good position.
Yeah, it's going to be like with Storm, but without that infinite attacks. Because that was the problem with Storm. Storm had way more attacks that you had possibly access to cards of.
Yeah.
And this one feels like it's because it's restricted by that energy. Either you need to sack 2 of your energy or you need to pay an energy here. You're limited. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think the sacking energy thing is a really good, smart development choice because it's a cost and it makes you think about wanting to use it. But if you're in that position where you want to push in for game, it lets you at the cost, right?
I'm also happy it's sacking 2 energy, not 1. If it was sacking 1 energy, the problem is you could do it every turn. You would just keep yourself at the same 4 energy.
Yeah. It makes you think about it a little bit. And then next up,
Vegeta Waiting to See. Do you have this one or am I taking this?
You can take this one.
So it's a 2-drop with 2 specified yellow, 10,000 power, 0-5k combo. Auto once per turn, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, it gets 10k and double strike for the turn. It's a Saiyan Kaba on the 2-drop and 10k base. So it goes to 20k double strike. Actually fairly scary.
And 25 as well if you're on the Goku side.
Yeah. Or if you have Whis on board, it's at 25.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
At the start of you and your opponent's main phase, switch this card to active mode. This is super scary with Whis. Because that's multi-attacker, double striker that gives you more cards to hand to combo with.
Yep.
Activate main, limit 1, pay 1 yellow. If your leader backside is Vegeta and you choose one of your yellow Goku cards, Play this card from your hand, and the chosen card will not switch to active during your charge phase. But I think we're also going to see Goku waiting to see, which is going to restand at the beginning of the main phase. Plus, we have a super rare.
It's probably going to be a promo if there is. No, we have the Super Saiyan Goku waiting to see.
We do? Is that
Yeah,
the Z battle?
it's the dual attack one where you play it.
Oh yeah, it is. You're right, and it doesn't restand. Oh yes, because Vegeta is the trial run. That's equivalent to waiting to see of Goku. Okay, that is actually quite interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Like, I like this card quite a bit actually. As you say, it's been, and to be fair, for all intents and purposes, it is Saiyan card because you're only paying 1 energy for it.
Yes, but it has 5k more power. It essentially hits the 25k.
Yeah.
And then you can do it again when you go for the Whis.
Also, you can choose your leader with this.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
Would you want to?
Don't know. Just saying.
It is an option, yes, because it says Son Goku cards, yeah? If you are on the front side, yeah, by all means. I also love the fact that restanding on this card is not limited, nor is the first auto. Both of the autos are unlimited. They don't have limit 1 on them. Which means that if you manage to get few of them on board, you do have quite a lot of life in this deck.
Yeah, it's good. I really can't wait to start testing with this deck and just see what dumb stuff you can get. Like, in the archetype itself, but then obviously you've got yellow, which has a bunch of great staples to go along with it.
Yeah.
Next up is...
Piccolo, a bad feeling.
What's the bad feeling, huh?
Don't know yet. It's a 1-drop, 1 specified yellow, 4000 power. When played, draw a card once per turn. If you have 2 or more energy, when one of your yellow Goku cards with cost of 2 is played, this card gets 6000 power for the turn, so it becomes a 10k attacker.
Fine.
It's fine. It's a good filler.
Yeah. It's a deck that definitely could just be easily cut from the deck. It's a card that could be cut from the deck.
It's a card that could easily be cut from the deck. I think yellow has enough strong pieces to not need this Piccolo.
Yeah, I agree. But it's nice if you were just building on that type from the set. It's nice.
Next one is Krillin. Yeah.
Remembering Terror.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was killed by Frieza.
I did kill him, yeah. So he's a 1-drop. When this card is played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 yellow Saiyan. When it costs a 4 or less, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So a tutor, it's fine. Auto, once per turn, if you have 2 or more energy, when one of your yellow Son Goku cards with an energy cost of 2 is played, this card gets 6k power for the turn. So both of these could potentially be useful in old Whis as well.
Yes.
More so the Krillin. I think the Krillin's more utility based than the Piccolo.
Because it lets you tutor up some stuff, right? The problem I have with this Krillin is it reshuffles the deck rather than bottom down the cards. I liked when they were doing a lot of bottoming down the cards. And B, it can't search itself. As much as I don't really complain, but whenever we have tutors, they're usually within the same archetype that can search itself.
Yeah, you can't search. He's literally searching for Saiyans. It's like, am I Saiyan? No, Krillin. No, you're not.
He's the stronger human. He's the strongest human.
Next up, speaking of strong humans,
Master Roshi, the strongest card in the set.
30k skillless.
Yeah.
I can't. To be fair, it's like I'm just like I've got on this really weird trip where I just kind of want to get all of the big swole Roshi cards. I don't know why. Okay. I'm just like, you know, I want to vibe with that for a while.
Sure.
Jacko?
No.
Oh.
Super rare.
Oh.
Yeah,
we'll leave that one.
Jacko is later. Super Saiyan Son Goku versus Golden Frieza Spirit Clash. Really nice card. So we're also going to have a sneak peek for the Frieza, right? Because this is a 5-drop Frieza and Goku with 3 specified yellow, 0-5k combo, 20,000 power. It has swap 8 for 2 yellow and 2 of any color. If you have 4 or more energy, it goes into yellow Frieza with cost of 4. Such a shame it's not a Goku's lineage.
With cost of 4.
So cost of 8. It swaps down. Okay? Because I had the 4 above it. If you have 4 more energy. For energy cost of 8. Auto limit 1. When this card is played, draw 1 card and choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier and KO it.
Just great.
This is just scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, if there's swap, it goes back to your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Activate main 2 yellow. Choose 1 of your yellow Saiyan or Frieza army cards. Play this card from your Z energy and add the chosen card to your Z energy.
Mm-hmm.
This is... Yeah, you can just combo it off and then you pay 2 energy and bring it out whenever you want to. Unless your opponent is going to... Unless your opponent is going to drop the Golden Cooler or is playing the Super 17, there's nothing touching your Z energy.
Pretty much, yeah.
And activate main limit 1 if you have 3 or more energy and you remove this card from the game. Play up to 1 yellow Goku or Frieza with cost of 2 or less from your hand or drop. So for Frieza, it's to restart the swap chain. And for Goku, quite obviously, we've seen quite a few good Goku cards with cost of 2.
Yeah.
As strong as this card is, I'm not sure how well it fits in with the
Goku Frieza Vegeta deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would run it in the deck.
Because it costs 2. It's not limited to be played with that effect.
No.
But it still costs 2.
If it had a keyword like dual attack, then I'd say yes, but it's like...
Any
it's a
keyword,
good
even
card.
double strike. I would take double strike.
Double strike would have been amazing. Like, double strike on this thing would have been scary as next up, we have...
Training with Whis.
Take it away.
So 1 drop extra card. Permanent. During a turn where one of your mono yellow leaders flips from its backside to its front, reduce the energy cost of this card by 1 yellow. So it costs 0. And we all know that extra cards that cost 0 are never broken.
Nope, never.
Activate main. 1 yellow. Choose up to 1 of your yellow Son Goku or Vegeta cards with cost of 2. Send it to your warp. Play that card from your warp at the start of your next main phase, and that card gets 5k for the turn. Huh. So you reset that when played auto on your super rare.
Yep.
But you still need to pay 1 yellow for that.
Yes.
And activate battle. Choose up to 1 of your yellow Son Goku or Vegeta cards. And that card gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. So a super combo.
This basically helps defend if you're on the Goku side. Yeah, it's just a great card.
It's
just
very interesting.
Next up.
Jacko.
Jacko, a dangerous signal.
Yeah.
1 cost. When it's played, draw a card. Activate main, limit 1. Pay 1 yellow. If your leader's backside is God level Vegeta, choose up to 1 of your yellow Son Goku cards. It costs a 2 and switch it to active mode.
So pay 1 to attack again?
Yeah.
Definitely with something that can get like double strike, like the super rare. Because having a dual attack double strike is scary.
That is true.
Jacko's actually quite fun, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's merit to him. The
problem is he needs to be on board to use this effect.
Yes.
I think that's his biggest problem, because he doesn't have any protection.
No, he does not.
Then we have Son Goku Trial Run. It does exist. So a 2-drop to specified yellow, 10,000 power, 0-5k combo. Auto at the start of you and your opponent's main phase. Switch this card to active mode.
Nice.
All of those cards are very protected from battles, right? Can't attack them. Activate main, limit 1, pay 1 yellow if your leader backside is Vegeta and you choose 1 of your yellow Vegeta. Play this card from your hand and the chosen card will not be switched to active during your next charge phase. Ooh, I have a question. If you play this choosing your leader,
Mhm.
and yeah, because it doesn't say you need to choose a card in the rest mode.
Mhm.
If you play this choosing your leader, you attack with your leader, it flips, it's a different card.
I have no idea.
Will it restand?
You'll
Is
have
that
to ask.
actually how it was
You'll have
designed?
to ask someone else. Unless you know in the comments below, let us know if you do. If not, it's an interesting question. And then activate main once per turn. Add one card from your life to your hand. This card gets 10k dual attack.
It needed to be activate main because of the activation condition for the dual attack.
Mhm.
It's auto that procs when attacking. If you gain it later, doesn't do anything.
Exactly.
It's an equivalent to that Vegeta we've seen, but Vegeta was waiting to see. Yeah, Vegeta was waiting to see, and Goku's trial run. They swapped them around for some reason, because Vegeta trial run was equivalent to Goku waiting and see. It might change again because we've seen some changes. Because of course
Yeah.
this is not the
Yeah. With
final product.
power absorbed. Yeah.
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 So this is not a
Uh,
final product. So we might see that being swapped to match. I think that might just be an overlook,
yeah.
which would be fine. There's one more card left, and it's Bulma making a wish.
Take it away.
1 drop, 1000 power. If your leader is a yellow Vegeta and you have 3 or more energy, when this card is played, reduce the energy cost of Whis time regression in your Z deck by 2 yellow for the turn. So all in all, if you draw Bulma, the Whis costs 2 energy, not 3. Right? Because you need to pay 1 for Bulma and 1 for Whis.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But the Whis itself will cost 1.
Yes, but it's only uh, reduction for a turn.
Mhm.
Activate main limit 1 if you have 3 or more energy. You choose 2 of your energy in rest mode and you place this card in your drop. Choose up to 1 of your yellow Vegeta with cost of 2, switch it to active mode, and all of the chosen cards will not switch to active during your next charge phase.
So it's just to push in for that again. If you want, rather than having those Vegetas in hand, if you got a Vegeta on board, you just push in for another final attack, right?
Yeah, but it stops both the Vegeta and the 2 energy you've chosen from restanding.
Mhm.
It's actually quite interesting. I like this card.
Yeah.
I am really happy that the deck has no way in hell or heaven to remove their own Whis.
Yeah.
Because being Z battle card, it cannot be comboed off.
No.
And as long as they don't get a way to remove it, I'm going to be fine with this deck.
I agree. I think that's um I think that's a great sentiment. Like I said, I'm waiting for someone to really like crack this deck and show how it sequences really well.
Mm.
It comes back to that. This is the type of deck that I want to play with to really get the hang of. But on paper, I really love it. I think it's really thematic, and I do like the flipping of back and forth between the Goku and the Vegetas. I do like how Whis is really cool there to just be like, "Come on then, remove me. I dare you." Um,
I like
yeah,
how
lots to love.
the Z deck is not restricted in this deck.
Mm,
We've seen a lot of push towards the Z stack, and we've seen Majin Buu, which is choking on the Z deck.
mm.
And this one has a bit more freedom because, let's be honest, you don't expect that Whis to ever be removed, so you maybe run 2 Whis at most.
It depends what you're comfortable with, but I
Unless
could
you
say
find
2 or
something that
3.
will actually remove it, right?
Yeah. But yeah, like I think there's a lot of nice little cards that can go in there, right? I mean, all you have to do is look at Oolong, right? Like, because you're going to be able to power up these cards quite a bit. So you could always potentially look at Oolong as well.
If the ruling with Overwhelm works, then definitely Mira is something that's looking for this deck.
Yeah, exactly right. So overall, a really fun, again, another unique style of playing a deck. They're still going. They're still creating them. 21 sets into the game. Yeah, I really like it. There's not much more. Like, I want to see this deck do well. I like the theme. I like how it works. The leader looks amazing. I don't have anything more to add. Do you, Luki?
Um, it's very on theme, and I like that they kept the flavor for Whis. Because I think
Mm,
somewhere the flavor for Whis was lost,
mm.
and in here I think it's a good homage to Judge of Gods.
Yeah, Same,
And
same.
the deck looks interesting. I'm not sure how well the flipping back and forth is going to go because there's going to be a headache to keep a track of it.
It is. That is true.
But I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of Goku and Vegeta? God level power. Let us know down below in the comments. And of course, if you are new here, Super Saiyan, smash that subscribe button for more Bandai card game content and card game content in general. And if you need some binders or deck boxes or any TCG accessories, you can again check the link in the description for a 10% off of any Voltex product using our links. All right, we'll get out of here. We'll see you next time.